Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Bites Weekly Show. I am your host, DC, and per usual, I have my best buddy, Ketsoren, here with me co-hosting. What's up,
That's
Ketsoren?
nothing much. What's up with you, man?
Oh, just here, and you're here. You're actually here
I'm here. I'm actually here
in my house,
in your house.
which is pretty rad.
Yeah.
And then we have a very special
hmm
guest tonight. We have Tressa Bowling. How's it going, Tressa?
Going pretty great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Tressa, I have been acquaintances with for quite a long time now. I interviewed her for the first time. Oh God, LexCon 2016, 17, something like that.
Okay.
And you were a
Okay.
guest there.
Yeah.
God, it's been so
Cool.
long. Um, lot has happened since then for sure. You've done some
hmm
really sick stuff. I will actually, while I'm thinking about it, let me pull that up over here. I'll post your
Cool.
Instagram to the Twitch here so everyone can give you a follow and see some of your art as we go through it. So let's just start things off real quick. Let everyone get to know you a little bit. How
hmm
long have you been doing the whole art thing?
Um, I mean, I guess it's the stereotypical answer to say, well, ever since I can remember, I've been drawing. But it really is pretty true. I was always had an inclination to draw a whole lot. Um, I guess I didn't start doing conventions and actually making money off of my work until I would say it was probably about like 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of like my first conventions was that I tabled at was the Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh, nice. How was that? I've never been to that one.
It was great. It was always one that was kind of more towards the end of the con season.
Sure.
And so it seemed like on top of like people being like super relaxed by then but at that point, and then like also it was like a lot of deals at the show. You could get stuff for real cheap. um but yeah, no, I remember I had like half of a table and the other half was my friends who had a podcast at that time, and so I had my just like little tiny sketch cards that I was doing, and it was a
Yeah.
combination of like kind of really cutesy, like chibi adjacent stuff. And then I also had like hyper realistic pencil drawings that I did.
Nice.
So I definitely had not found my own like style yet at that time.
The big thing that always caught my eye about your art was I want to say like the sharpness of the lines. Like I feel like you really do a good job of like accentuating like scenes and stuff like that like around your characters and everything like that. Some of my favorite art you do is Star Wars art, and I bought a couple of pieces off you. I bought Kylo Ren off of you. I bought Ray off of you. So yeah,
Nice.
I
Can you
really
see some of
Awesome.
these? Can you pull some of these prints up so we can see?
let's see if I can go through her posts. It's
They're probably buried.
it's probably yeah. It's been a while since you've done it. Well, you've done this Ahsoka one pretty
Yeah.
recently, so let's bring
Yeah.
that one up. So I don't know if you're looking at the stream, Tressa, but yeah. I mean, look at that. It's so good. And
Thank you.
I love the gold
Very nice.
circles in the background too. The symbols, those
Yeah,
are sick.
that was some watercolor paint that I found that has like a metallic sheen to it.
Wow.
So I was, yeah, I was like, all right,
That's cool. I
like,
like that a lot.
thank you. Yeah, I just kind of played around with it and it turned out really cool.
So are you a big Star Wars fan then?
I am. I don't know if you can see
Ah,
behind me here, some other Star Wars fan art.
yeah.
But my studio that I'm sitting in here is like, I would say 80% Star Wars memorabilia. Yeah,
I
and
love
now I have a bad addiction to like hot toys
Oh,
ones that
oh
like are
yeah.
like the hyper realistic.
Yeah.
So I've gone from, like little action figures to being like, you know what I need? I need like a very accurate tiny Rosario Dawson
Yeah, that's what you
in
need.
my display cabinet. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
also am this, obviously, and
Hmm.
I gotta ask you. So, what's your favorite? Which one is your favorite? Not necessarily which one you think is the best, but which one's your favorite movie? Movie.
Oh, okay. Movie. I think I always go back to Return of the Jedi
Really, Return of the
for sure.
Jedi.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's just because like as I grew up, it was just one that I always flocked to watch.
Is it because the
But
Ewoks?
yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. The Ewoks hold a very special place in my heart.
Man, that's a great choice. I
Yeah,
love that
yeah.
movie.
But I mean, like, really, I mean, and I always joke with um my buddy Justin Stewart about it because, there's a lot of like very toxic fandom in Star Wars.
Yes.
Um, but yes. But I'm very much I love the good and the bad, and like I'm just like it's all Star Wars to me. I eat it up, so I have zero to no qualms
Yeah,
about even the stuff that people don't care too much for. So which is kind of like
I have strong opinions.
yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, he
maybe,
does.
maybe for another time, you and I can talk about
Yeah,
it. But
that's another stream, a separate one.
yeah, yeah. Shouts out to Justin, by the way, Justin Stewart.
Yeah.
He just
Mhm.
followed as well. So thanks
Ooh.
for the follow, buddy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've
Uh,
got his art featured right here behind me.
heck yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Oh,
well,
thanks, Justin.
since we're on the topic, you and Justin have collabed on some stuff in the past,
Mhm.
including a really cool book called Kentucky Kaiju. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. So we did a little book. It's like reads like a little field guide to kaiju that inhabit Kentucky. And we did it, uh, what was that, like
It's been a while, yeah.
7 years ago or
Maybe
something
even
like that,
longer.
which
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
pains me to say that many years it's been, but yeah, we did it in collaboration with Sean Pryor, who did all the writing for the book, and we just literally we made a list of all the ridiculous names of towns and cities in Kentucky. Like every state has really weird
yeah.
um, towns, Paint Lick and like um,
Yep.
all of a sudden I'm not thinking of any of the others. Big Bone Lick.
Big
There's a
bone lick.
lot
A
of
lot of
yeah,
licks.
like a lot of licks. But yeah, we were like, okay, what if we had a list and then we created these just really wacky kaiju for all these different areas. And it read just like a field guide
Yeah.
where it had like their stats and everything. So we worked on that. We did it years ago. It was published through Apex Publishing,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a lot of more like sci-fi based publications. It was really great release. Had a lot of really great response to it. I still get people to this day asking about it, which I think speaks a lot to it.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Wes. Wes just said Kentucky Kaiju is
Yeah.
metal fingers. So, since we're talking about you mentioned Sean, and so you and Sean and Justin are all going to be guests at LexCon coming up.
Yeah.
So that's
Wow.
exciting.
Hmm. Yeah.
March, what is
Yeah.
it? March 7th through the 10th. Is that right? Those are the right
Hmm.
dates.
Hmm.
Yeah, super excited to come hang out with you guys and talk to you and come to your booths. And everyone else
Yeah.
should come buy some shit from you. And your commissions are open right now for your pre-commissions for the show, right?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I'll be doing commissions at the show as well.
Sure, sure.
But if people want a piece that I really had more time to focus on, then yeah, pre-shows are open.
Might hit you up on that.
Very cool.
So speaking of kaiju, I don't know how much of a manga reader you are, but have you ever checked out Kaiju number 8?
I haven't.
Okay, highly
No,
recommend.
I'm but I've read manga in the past, but I'm a I'm bad about keeping up with them.
I understand. I
Yeah.
get it. Busy.
Me too. I started Chainsaw Man, and I still haven't picked up the second one.
I know, and they're literally in my
Oh,
house, and she's in my house, and all she has
yeah.
to do is come get
And I
them.
haven't. No, I started a big book. It's like this thick. So,
Yeah. How thick?
priorities. This thick. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to wait to the end of the show to tease it, but you got something else coming out soon, right? Or you're working on a little project with Justin, or are people not ready for that yet?
No, I mean, I guess I could tease it a little bit. It's going to
Okay.
be a little bit of a wait before it hits, like a couple months, but we are working on, like a extended cut, I guess you could say, of Kentucky Kaiju,
Ooh.
where it'll be more
Ooh.
content, but in a different printing format.
Okay.
Um, and something that we will be that we are putting together ourselves, and it will be through Kickstarter
That's
that
killer.
we're looking to get it funded. Yeah,
Hell
so we're
yeah.
really excited. It's all done. It's been done for like a year, and so we've just been kind of sitting on it and waiting for like, what would be the best opportunity and best time to kind of put it together because we it's kind of it's our baby,
Sure. Yeah.
um, and we wanted to do it justice by releasing more content, newer stuff for people who were lovers of the first one and maybe people that are just now coming around to it.
Love that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that too.
Hmm.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, we're really excited. Yeah.
So I want to start off by asking everyone: are you scared of acorns? Is anyone here scared of acorns?
No.
Are
Should
you
I
sure?
be?
I mean, I don't. Apparently, it makes police officers fire their guns at their own police car. So yeah.
Oh,
Did
I
you
thought it
see
was a
Oh,
that?
you mean like
squirrel.
when they drop from the trees and hit the
Yeah.
car?
Did you see
Uh,
that?
no.
There's this viral video going around right now. It's all the talk. This cop, he heard an acorn hit the top of his car, and there was a unarmed suspect in his car arrested, and he thought he fired a handgun inside his police car, and he just starts opening fire on
Oh,
the car. Like just
Lord.
yeah. So yeah. Also, in other news, did you know Neptune is actually green and not blue?
gosh. Did you pull up a picture of this yet? Or is there a picture that goes along with it, or is it just an article about it?
No, it's just an article saying that, it's always been depicted
Oh,
as blue, but actually it's more green than blue.
I want to see a picture of it. I don't think
So,
that they should just tease that.
She says pictures or it didn't happen.
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I want. I want to see stuff. Okay? I want to see your artwork. I want to
Need
see
proof.
Neptune. I want to. Yeah.
maybe you should commission her to draw a Neptune, but
Will you
green.
please draw a green Neptune?
See what I could do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a
Thanks.
big circle.
Who wrote the article? We could send it to them. Use this picture.
So, who are some of your inspirations, like artists that you followed that you really enjoy and motivate you to make more content?
um, God, that's like a never-ending list. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could just go onto my Instagram and see who I follow. It's just like tons of different artists. I also love following tattoo artists.
Ooh,
Yeah. Um, but I would say like right now, people that pop up on my feed a lot that I'm really like inspired by are it's Princess Momoko, I think is how you say her name.
hmm.
She's done some work with Marvel. I just love her style and love how she uh, has a very kind of flowy look
Wait,
to
is
her
that
work.
Peach Momoko?
What did I say?
You said
Princess?
princess, yeah. Peach Momoko.
Peach.
It's funny you say that. I play Marvel Snap,
Yeah.
and she does tons of art for Marvel Snap as well.
Yes.
and they're like some of my
Love
favorite
her work.
cards a lot.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about though, with like the flowiness to it, like everything just
Mhm.
blends together so well. It's
It
yeah,
all looks so soft.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that kind of aesthetic.
yeah.
Um, I love Sweeney Boo, her stuff.
Okay.
I love how she draws feet.
Josh
Not a foot
McQuillan.
person.
Josh McQuillan has entered the
Josh
chat.
McClellan immediately thought.
Okay, let me reiterate here. I love how she draws like boots. Like
Okay.
anytime I'm needing to draw like a good boot, I look at her stuff because I'm like, she does. She like just captures that perfect like Doc Martin boot look. It's hard to draw feet. These are like
Hey,
very
I bet.
hyper specific things that I look for. But yeah, anybody that just kind of like sparks my interest. I've got a lot of
Rob
you know,
Liefeld could never.
could never, yeah, distract you with the pockets.
Yeah, or the
Yeah,
massive Captain America chest.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, a lot of different work. I love stuff that looks, not necessarily things that are close to how I want to create. It's just stuff that's completely different from mine that I
Yeah,
find an inspiration. So
that's what's up.
yeah, it's forever growing.
Speaking of Deadpool, since I mentioned Rob Liefeld,
Hmm.
the Deadpool and Wolverine trailers out came out. The teaser came out during the Super Bowl Sunday, and then they released a full one online like concurrently. And
Hmm.
did you see the trailer? What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I saw it. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw it a couple
you're
times.
you're like, yeah, duh.
I think I'm hoping it will kind of revitalize my want to go to see another Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I feel
yeah,
you there. It's I think everyone's
Marvel
been a
burnout
little.
is real.
very real. Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, so Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was amazing and came out and not that long ago, what, last year. I
Hmm.
feel like they've been hit or miss. I don't think there's necessarily as much fatigue as people want to let on. I just think Marvel's been putting out a lot of bad stuff, more than anything. I mean, like
No,
Black.
I think that after Endgame, it started going downhill.
I'm,
Like I think that's when the burnout started,
I mean,
for sure.
for sure, it started then because you have all this lead up for Endgame, and like it ends, and like that's the end of the story, and like all these characters we love. But like if you look at like what they released after that, like Eternals was awful, the worst thing they put out by far. Black Widow was not much better. And then you had Multiverse of Man, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I actually loved and thought was phenomenal. And then you had
I like that one.
Spider-Man Far From Home, which was
Hmm.
phenomenal, one of the top tier Marvel movies. And like people kind of ignore that those came out because it was so clouded by all the other shit that wasn't very good. Like even Shang-Chi, I don't think was that amazing. And I think that's when it was like they felt like they were kind of riding in it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's just like they're just trying to get money out of these characters type deal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that's what the burnout is. It's they're putting out so much that people can't keep up with it, and then what the content that we are getting is bad, and then there's those gems, but it's like, oh gosh, I have to go watch this and then keep
Yeah.
up with it, and it's one, it's expensive to go to the movie theaters, and then two, like it's just time consuming.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
still haven't seen Far From Home.
It's oh man, we got to watch it. It's phenomenal. It's such a love letter to like Spider-Man fans and
Hmm.
uh No Way Home, not Far From Home. That's what I meant to say. No Way Home. The
That
one
one, that one.
yeah,
I
the
still
one
I haven't seen the second.
oh well, Far From Home's good too. It really is, but No Way Home is top tier. Sabrina says Dustin's favorite planet is Uranus. Who's anus? That's what I want to know.
Uranus.
My anus?
Yeah.
Oh.
Justin's favorite planet is Uranus. Justin's Uranus. That's what
Deadpool
I'm
and
saying.
Wolverine though is the only
Uh,
Marvel movie coming out this year. So I actually talked to my buddy Dan. Shouts out! I hope he's here. I told him to come join the stream, come hang out. But we talked about it earlier. Like it feels like they need to take a step back and not release, like you were saying, Ketsoran, to your point, not release so much stuff, not oversaturate themselves, and give some people room to
Yeah.
breathe and look forward to some stuff, you know?
Yeah.
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 Well, it's hard for like
Give us quality content.
yeah. Well, and like you said, it's like there's so much coming out. People can't, the casual viewer has a hard time like catching up or
Keeping up.
you
Yeah.
know, like keeping up with it. And so
Mhm.
it's like, you know, you miss one thing and then there's like half of the next movie you're like, what's happening? Who is that? You know, so it's like I
Right.
get it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of information to keep too. I mean, and then there's so much else, you know, there's other TV and shows that are coming out and movies, you
Hmm.
know, like how can you keep up with it all?
Yeah.
Tressa, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Worst movie I've ever seen. Seen a lot of really bad movies. I guess the first one that came to mind was I watched. I don't know if you've ever. We watched it because Patton Oswalt had talked about it in one of his stand-ups, and it
Okay.
was uh, Deathbed.
Never seen it.
It's about the deathbed, the bed that eats people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Um, it's
The bed
really
that eats
bad, but
people.
also I highly recommend it. You know, um, especially if you've had a drink or two. But yeah, it was that one was pretty bad.
Koron concurs. He's here. Shouts out to Friends with Benefits podcast. He says it's so fucking bad.
Yeah, yeah. All I remember
Gosh.
is the guy like getting like his hands caught in the bed and like him screaming, and he pulls out his hands and it's just the bones, but somehow still staying together, you know? So just like these little like cartoony bony hands being pulled
That's
out. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch this.
Use my hand bones.
Well,
That's awesome.
speaking of
I love that.
fucking terrible movies, Madam Web came out and is getting completely shit on by literally everyone and the internet collectively.
Mhm.
I saw some spoilers from actually Wes, who's in the chat here, and he passed them along from what he saw online, and it's like spot the incorrect plot point in the movie, and they're all things that happen in the movie, and they all seem like it's impossible that they would put it into a movie. I don't want to say them in case people do want to see it, but it's, oh my god, it's so terrible.
Mhm.
I like when I saw that movie trailer when it first came out, I was like, this looks fan made. It actually looks like a fan made movie with like big name actresses in it.
Yeah, and like I mean, just the the all the press junket that Dakota has been doing, like even she doesn't look like she cares to be there for it.
Right.
So I'm like, but I
Oh
kind of
man.
want to see it now because of all the
Because
bad
it's so
reviews
bad,
and
yeah.
stuff. Because it's so bad, it's
Yeah.
crossing that boundary into like that kind of like sort of culty kind of vibe to it because
The
it's so
Room.
bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe
Uh
they'll do a re-release like Morbius in hopes that people come out to it.
yeah, it's Morbin time.
Yeah.
What is the best video game you played lately?
Well, I'm not a video game player,
Oh, okay.
so
Well, the
I
most
know.
recent one that you played,
Sorry.
even if it was Super Mario Bros. A long time ago.
Um, most recent one, I can't even remember that.
Oh,
Um,
It's
dang.
I'm
Area
really like,
51. You were at a bar a while ago, and that is the game that you played. I'm just completely throwing out a game for
yeah,
you. Take the
yeah.
story. Take the story.
I mean, I'll always go back to Mario Kart.
Okay.
That's like, I really like games that I can get in and get out really quickly. You know, like,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, Mario Kart is a fave. But I also like, you know, I used to play a lot of the kind of like little one-off games that were some of the very first like sort of small downloadable ones. Like I think it was called Journey
Yeah.
that I played quite a few times
Journey's
just because
phenomenal.
I just thought it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's stuff like that that I enjoy if I do go to play a game. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. Journey takes like I think it's like 2.5 hours to beat. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's gorgeous. It won game of the year that year almost
Hmm.
everywhere. It's really, really awesome game. Highly recommend to anyone
Hmm.
who's never played it. Well, speaking of really good video games, apparently Helldivers 2 is kind of breaking the internet. How good it is. Like the player base on day one was insane. Um, I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun. It's like a tactical, uh, shooter where it's like PVE. You go in with your buddies. You take on like a big monster. Get in, get out type deal. Looks really good. I kind of want to check it out. And then a
No,
quick,
I haven't seen any of that yet.
yeah, I have to show it to you later. It looks great. I kind of really want it, but I've been playing the shit out of Overwatch 2 because they had a massive update, complete ranking overhaul, um, bunch of character buffs, and yeah, it just plays so much different and honestly better. So I've been playing that. Probably gonna play tonight after this, to be honest with you. Um, and then one more quick video game note. The Nintendo. It was reported today that the Nintendo Switch successor, which everyone's been tentatively calling the Nintendo Switch 2, which probably is not what it's going to be called, it got pushed to 2025, says reports. So and another report that I saw said that the next generation console for Xbox is confirmed. So that whole thing about where Halo
Oh,
was getting pushed onto PS5 as well as Xbox or the next PlayStation console, whichever one it's going to be, apparently that is not accurate. They're not going to go away from their hardware. And they actually made a claim that it's going to be a huge step up for consoles. So I don't know what they're going to do there, but be
hmm.
can be pretty interesting.
Well, I just bought the Xbox Series S. I need time to play it.
You probably only got a couple more years at max before the next gen comes out, so have fun with that.
Oh, just so you know, so Baldur's Gate 3 fans, we just got a big patch, so a lot of things should be fixed with that.
Yeah, you can kiss a lot of
That's my
people
update on
apparently.
video games. Yeah,
Apparently,
you can kiss so many people.
lots of characters can kiss now, so that's I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, me too.
The characters, not the players. The characters. I'm glad they all get to
Yeah.
kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
the players are also very happy about
sure,
that.
but you know,
Yeah.
Shadowheart. Nobody should.
when I'm trying to be nice to NPCs whenever they take over the world, so Hey,
No.
whenever AI takes over the world, they'll remember that I said that I was glad they got to kiss, so they'll spare me.
Got it. Okay. Skynet will remember.
Skynet will remember. They're always watching. So I love your Ahsoka pillow, by the way,
Oh,
Tressa.
thank you.
Yeah, that's killer. What did you think of the series, the Ahsoka series?
I should have just held this up when you were like, "Are you a fan of Star
Yeah,
Wars?"
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
What do you
hate it.
think?
It's the worst thing I've ever
I'm
seen.
sorry. What was what was the question?
What did you think of the Ahsoka series?
Oh, I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope that there's more.
I
I
mean,
hope that wasn't it.
I think there
I
has to
mean,
be.
yeah, there has to be more. Yeah. Um, no, I really enjoyed it. I know it was kind of a slow burn. But again, like Ahsoka is my I don't know if you can notice, but Ahsoka is my favorite out of all the characters. I've been a big fan of her since her first appearances. So uh, I was just really excited to see her get her own show.
Did you get to meet Ashley Eckstein when she was at LexCon last year?
I did not. No, I
Hmm.
haven't been to LexCon physically since pre-COVID.
Whoa. Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually, yeah, this is my first year back in a good minute.
I never stop going
Hmm.
because I run press, so it's the
Yeah,
grind. The grind's always there.
yeah.
Well, okay. So I really enjoyed it as well. Like you
Hmm.
said, it was kind of a slow burn, which Filoni is very notorious for. If you've ever seen anything
Hmm.
he's done,
Yeah.
and I think season one, and shout out to Dan again because uh, we talked about this earlier as well, but I think season 1 will feel a lot better for people once season 2 comes out and completes and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back at Filoni's other works, kind of they're all like that, right? Kind of starts out slow, you get to know the characters like very intimately, and then
Mm-hmm.
high stakes, high stakes, high stakes. Holy shit, that stuff really matters. So, but speaking of more Star Wars and the last video game note, since you're not a video game player, I'm trying to breeze through it for you. But
No, you're good.
you might be interested in this one. There's a Star Wars Bounty Hunter game coming from Respawn. Apparently, it's
Oh.
supposed to feature Mando himself. So, speaking of Ahsoka,
Ooh.
so
Oh, I might get back into video games then.
yeah, Din Djarin.
Mm-hmm.
And then another related thing. So Pedro Pascal, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, he just got announced
Mm-hmm.
as Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie. So
That's awesome. Oh,
yeah. So
I mean, we're all going to see him as the Mandalorian, though.
what'd you say?
We're all going to see him as the Mandalorian, though.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you see him as that? Do you see him as Joel from The Last of Us? I mean, come on, he's just all over. He's got his
No,
fingerprints all over nerd culture.
I just see him as Mando.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, the Fantastic Four
She's like, I said what I
cast.
said.
Yeah. Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm. Pedro Pascal is Reed
Mhm.
Richards. Eben Moss, I'm gonna butcher his name. Backrack is Ben Grimm, which I think is gonna be awesome. That guy's cool. And then Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm. So yeah, uh,
Cool.
looks like
I'm
a good
excited.
cast.
Hmm.
And rumor has it that Doom isn't going to show up until the end of the movie, so I'm not sure who the main protagonist is going to be. Or
Hmm.
antagonist, not protagonist. Main antagonist.
Hmm.
I mean, there's lots of people they could use, right? Fantastic Four has a huge catalog of villains and such, but it'll be interesting, especially if you've
Yep.
seen the Marvels. Which have you seen the Marvels?
Yep.
The ending of that makes me think they're
Yep.
gonna maybe shoehorn something in there to, especially with Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think maybe they're gonna do something there. If I had to
Mm.
guess,
Yeah. That would be super nice if they could if they can mix all that together. I mean,
Hmm.
isn't that confirmed though?
well,
Didn't Kevin Feige confirm that X-Men is going to be brought in?
yeah, no, for sure. But I'm saying I wonder if they're gonna use an X-Men villain for the Fantastic
Oh.
Four, and that's why
Uh-oh.
we probably haven't heard anything about who the main villain's gonna be. And it's Feige, by the way. It's Kevin Feige.
Oh, I thought it was. I don't know. I'm a little tired. Okay.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how that all plays out. I think the
Mhm.
director's good. Yeah, I have high
Who's the
hopes for
director?
that.
What's the director done? Who is it?
He did a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones, and he did WandaVision. I think a couple
Mm.
episodes. Hold on just a second. Let me pull it back up.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No. You're good. You're good. It's good
I'm
questions.
very much that way. I'm like, who's the director?
Yeah, it's
That'll
Matt
that'll
Shackman.
help me to yeah.
So he was the director of WandaVision. He directed 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. He was the director of The Great. And he was the director of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I think is what most people want to hear.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Well, I
yeah.
loved WandaVision, so
Me too. I thought it was really good.
yeah.
The ending, it kind of fell apart a little bit, but, it is what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of X-Men, did everyone see the X-Men 97 trailer?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I'm so excited.
I'm just glad to hear that guitar again. You know.
Yeah.
Yep, that's super exciting.
Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Um, who's your favorite X-Man? Both of you.
I always really loved Jubilee.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Storm.
Storm's dope.
Storm is great. Mohawk Storm.
Of course. It's the
Punk
only
Storm.
it's only Storm.
Hmm.
True Storm. Yeah, I'm a basic bitch and it's Wolverine for me. So he's just so
That's not
badass.
basic. That's classic.
He's just so badass. What do you want from me? Huh,
He
what
is
do you
pretty badass.
bub? um yeah, so I don't know. People are kind of weirded out by the animation, but I'm like, I don't know what you want them to do. Like, you can't really animate like they do in the 90s anymore. It would just look weird.
Hmm.
Yep.
So,
I don't know. I think it looks good. I'm not weirded out by it. I'm looking forward to watching it.
hell yeah. Makes me want to rewatch the original.
Me too.
I'm probably going to do that.
Hmm.
Probably going to do that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Disney Plus, I just mentioned the Marvels. It is finally on Disney Plus, which is why I got to watch it. And then a couple other movie notes. Oppenheimer is on Peacock, and Thanksgiving is on Netflix. Which
Oh,
I know
sweet.
Koron watched Thanksgiving. I can't remember if he said it was good or bad. I think he said it was good. I don't know. Koron,
Is
tell
that the
me and
Eli
check.
Roth movie?
I think
So sorry.
so.
I'm like, another director question. Who directed that?
No, I think so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, for true,
Yes,
while
it
he's
is.
looking that up, oh,
Yeah. Because didn't that one's like spawn from one of the trailers in between the Grindhouse movies?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Wes says it's really good.
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Uh, you know, I'm probably gonna watch it. I really want to watch Oppenheimer again. Did you see Oppenheimer?
Well,
I
Okay.
did not. No, it's like
and I still haven't
one.
seen Barbie.
Oh well, that's on HBO Max. Mariah would love to watch that
Mhm.
with you. You could do that tonight.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan's work.
Yeah.
So it was kind of at a weird time, and we had, with a 3-year-old, like you have to pick
Yeah.
and choose what you can see in the theater. And I was like, I choose Barbie because I knew I didn't really want to be
I
in
just,
the mental state that Oppenheimer would put me in at
Yeah.
that time. So yeah, I
I,
need
w-
to watch
I
it.
was trying to do Barbenheimer, but I couldn't do it because
Mhm.
again, childcare. So
Yeah.
it's hard to get all day childcare to go watch an all day
Hmm.
feature. Um, but Barbie was fun. It was funny for sure. Like people were kind of mad, I guess, because Ryan Gosling got a lot of attention from it. But I'm like, his character was hilarious. He was so good as Ken. So I don't know what you want. Like Margot Robbie did a great job too. I don't know why are we getting mad at the fact that Ryan Gosling did a really good job. But no, Barbie was good. It got snubbed from the Oscars for what Margot Robbie's performance. Is that right? I guess that's why people are upset. Which I guess that makes
And
sense.
Greta didn't really get a
Oh, did she
nomination
not?
either.
I know it's up for
Mm-mm.
best film.
Yeah.
Yeah, best picture.
Hmm.
Weird that it
I
would
think
be up.
that's why people were just upset. It was like, oh, the man got picked for something, but it was like the
Oh
basically
yeah. The plot of the
the
movie.
the plot of the movie
Yeah.
being acted out in real life, where they were like, "Isn't this what we just talked about?" Kind of vibes to it. So
Fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Hmm.
Oppenheimer, definitely my favorite movie of the year last year. It's unfortunate you didn't get to see it on the big screen because I feel like to really appreciate the level of cinematography work that was put into that movie, you kind of have to see it on
Hmm.
the big screen. You know what I mean? Like in IMAX,
Sure.
especially.
Yeah.
Um, man, it is haunting in a good way.
Hmm.
Um, acting is top notch. There's a weird scene that I'm not really sure why it was in there, but uh, some people get naked and they just
Okay.
kind of sit in chairs. It's bizarre. But yeah, I won't spoil it anymore for you there. But yeah, highly recommend watching that, and I can't wait to watch it myself. What did you what did,
Well,
so Kitsorn, I know you were kind of lukewarm on the Marvels. What did you think about it, Tressa?
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
I mean, I would have liked there to have been. I mean, the right, like the common complaint was that the villain was kind of,
throwaway, throwaway.
meh. But
Yeah,
so many of the Marvel villains have been like throwaway villains in the past. So I mean, my biggest complaint would have been like kind of just fleshing that out a little bit, because a lot of her dialogue also felt like she was chewing the scenery for it. But
yeah,
I mean, I found it fun. I loved the planet that they go to where everybody has to sing,
yes.
uh, and do
Sing
musical
and
numbers.
dance. Yeah,
Yeah, I just thought it was just like, and then like, Miss Marvel, she's one of my favorite characters to begin with, and I think that the girl who plays her just does such a
I
fantastic
cannot
job,
think
and
of her
just
name, but yes, she's
yeah, every scene she is in, it's just like she just elevates it so much. So,
she owns the
um,
screen. When she's on screen, she
yeah,
owns it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I had a lot of fun watching it.
Same. So
Hmm.
I heard a lot of bad stuff about it, and it was just came out at a weird time for me because I couldn't go see it in
Hmm.
theaters, and I try to go see every Marvel movie in theaters if I can.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Like, if you just don't really care about the plot to it or like the villain, then you just have a fun time with the characters on screen. It's like
Hmm.
you're like it's just fun. I don't know. I don't know what you want. Like, shouldn't some movies just be fun? Doesn't have to be grandiose, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Kamala Khan, the chick who plays her, she's a rock
Hmm.
star. I can't wait to see
Hmm.
more of her.
Yeah,
Mike's here. Hey,
same.
Mike, what's going on, buddy?
hey, Mike.
Uh, so Valentine's Day was what, Wednesday?
Hmm.
It was Wednesday because it
Yeah,
was Frog Day.
it was Frog Day. That's right. Wednesdays are
It
for
was Frog
frogs.
Day. Yep.
What did everyone do for Valentine's Day? Anything, any kind of cool traditions you guys have that, or like hopefully people had a date or something. I don't know. Whatever people do on Valentine's Day.
Dustin,
We
did
did
you
our
have a
val
date? Oh, sorry, you first. You, Tressa,
No, I
you
was
go
just gonna
first.
say we had our Valentine's date night, uh 4 days before Valentine's, because that's when we could find a babysitter.
I
So
I feel it.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
you have a fun tradition, Kitsorin, that you won't get to
I
participate in until tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah. I like to watch kung fu films and order Chinese food. That is my Valentine's Day tradition, and that's what I'm gonna do. And on actual Valentine's Day, we had a Asia, and that was really great. So it still fit in with the day. So I still got part of my tradition. And it was beautiful. I loved it.
Marasia's that shit. It's so fucking good.
It's so good. Oh gosh, it shouldn't be that good.
It's illegal. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if the feds
Yeah.
go in there, they're gonna find some illegal stuff.
Okay.
So for me, my wife and I always are so our first Valentine's together, we decided to buy each other shoes. And so every Valentine's Day we buy each other shoes. And now the kids are a part of that, so they get shoes too. So
I like that.
yeah, it's fun. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But I also like new shoes, so I'm like,
Mhm.
that's a good idea.
What's your favorite
Mhm.
We know.
what's your favorite
Yeah.
shoe?
My favorite shoe. I bought my very first pair of Jordans last year.
Hey,
Hmm.
what'd you
Ooh.
get?
They're like a maroon and kind of like that off-white color. I can't remember what the name of them were, but they had like a leafy pattern, sort of embossed into the back of it.
Ooh, are they AJ
Yeah.
ones? Are they Jordan ones?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
I'm a huge sneakerhead.
So
If you couldn't
yeah,
tell.
I
Oh,
prefer I prefer a good sneaker over, like dress shoes. Or I'm not a dress shoe girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't really prefer heels or anything like that. So yeah, I like
Hey,
those.
listen.
And then I have a pair of when Vans had their collab with Marvel years
Oh
back,
yeah,
I still have my pair of Captain Marvels
sick.
from them,
Nice.
and
Oh,
I've kept those in really good condition. Like I only like it's con season, I pull those out, and I'm like this day, pick a day that it's not going to rain or anything. So
No, I feel
yeah.
that. Everyone's got their favorite pair of shoes.
Hmm.
Mine, I keep a couple pairs on ice, so I collect them as well. I don't collect. I wear all my shoes. I'm not that crazy,
Hmm.
but there's a couple I keep like tucked away for rainy days, non-rainy days,
Yeah.
as you should say. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you got your first pair of J's. Welcome.
Hmm. Yeah. Now I'm
Yeah,
hooked.
hell yeah. Kid Soren, what's your favorite pair of shoes?
my frog slippers.
Hell yeah.
I don't have like I don't know. I would say Toms are my go-to, but honestly, I just like putting on my slippers and wearing my. You see what my frog slippers look like? They're cute
Yeah, they're
and they're
rad.
Hmm.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like to wear most.
Mike says, "What's your dad like? I want to meet that dad." You remember that video? It's from Tim and Eric.
No.
Nobody. Do 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 do.
No.
Mm-mm.
Whatever. Bunch of losers. I'm just kidding. So, let's see. Well, we covered all the show topics. So, chat. Do you want to ask, anything of Tressa? Not of her, but about her or anything like that, or you know, get some questions going. Chat. You guys are eerily quiet for as many of you that are in there. So, no, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay, what's your favorite non-alcoholic beverage as you wear your Woodford Reserve hoodie?
Hmm. Favorite non-alcohol. Mm, I just like a good green tea, like iced
Hmm.
green tea.
I was just
Yeah.
drinking green tea. That was what was in this
Yeah.
cup.
Nice.
Yeah, you like matcha?
Oh, not too much. Will taste a little too much of the earth.
Okay, I gotcha.
Wait, yeah, a little too grassy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you like the kind of like sweeter kinds, like the infused
Hmm.
kinds with fruit, you should try the blackberry Bellini from Tea. I forget what it's called, tea something. But look
Ooh,
up
that sounds
blackberry
good.
Bellini tea,
Okay.
green tea. It's
Okay.
so damn good.
Well, Mike is asking a question, and he says, "Which art is the best?"
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Which art is the best?
All right, I want to see.
How do you want it to?
Actually, you know what? I want to see how you answer this. Which art is the best?
The art that makes you the happiest.
That's the political.
Oh, that's
That's
the
the
whole
political
song.
answer. Now you tell me the real
Well,
I don't
answer.
know what I want. uh, yeah. Yeah. No. It might be the political answer, but I think for real, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm just fucking.
Whatever. Like just kind of like you see it and you get a little bit of joy out of seeing it. It's like everybody has their own style, and I mean, even the stuff that I like has grown different over the years. Stuff that I didn't really care much for years ago, I now look at it with a different eye.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, how do you feel about? I know a lot of artists. Justin says "Made by Humans" is best. Absolutely. I know a lot of artists. They look back at their old stuff and be like, "God, like I can't believe that's like what I used to do." and
Hmm.
and they're like, I've grown so much, but like I feel like some artists need to appreciate, you know, all the good work they've done. And I don't, how do you feel about that? Do you get like nostalgic for your old work, or do you feel like, oh, that's cringe, like a lot of artists?
Um, both. There's definitely there's definitely some phases in my art that will crop back up, and whether it's like somebody posting it like, hey, I got this from you 12 years ago, and I'm like, what? you
Whoa.
know um that happens, but then also I'll still see some pieces that I'm just like, man, I was in the groove for that piece. I really still dig that. Because you know, always not everything we like to say is not fridge worthy. You don't want to put everything up on the fridge.
It's a good way to put it.
Right.
But yeah, but there's definitely some stuff that I see that I'm like, please never show that to me again. I don't want it. I feel like I'm gonna be like cursed by it, if I see it again. Yeah.
We had
Well,
on.
I have a follow-up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I have a follow-up with Mike. He says, "Fine. Which art is the worst?"
AI art.
A.
Oh, okay.
A
So we talking about stuff you're embarrassed about. We had on a artist a few shows ago, Sukeisha Ray, and she does a lot of not safe for work art, and she does commissions. And she told a story once about, I think actually I don't remember if she told this on her Facebook story or on the show, but regardless, she said she commissioned someone commissioned her to draw them having sex, and she's like, okay. It just did it. Yeah.
Okay.
But she called him
Okay.
out on it though. She was like, what position do you want it in? Where do you want it, on the ceiling? Like in the bed, like on the couch? What do you want? And it's just like, man, she's got some
Wow.
cojones on her to just stone cold not care. Like, what's the weirdest thing
Yeah.
someone's asked you to do, art wise, commission wise?
The it was a pretty like early in my convention career. A pretty early one, but it's still like probably still the weirdest. It was at Baltimore Comic Con, and the guy came up to my table and he goes, "I've asked everybody if they would do this commission, and no one has said yes so
Oh
far."
God,
So that's always a good
it's a
opener.
good sign.
I was like, no. Um, and so he wanted Wonder Woman sitting on the toilet, um, straining.
Okay.
But in the end, he wanted it to ultimately be classy.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so
Was he gonna hang it above his
I,
toilet or something?
maybe, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's not asking questions at that point.
Yeah, I was like, and I just said, I just don't think my skill level is at that point yet where I'd be able to pull that off. So I'm going to have to decline. But that was probably by far one of the weirdest. I
Nice.
think once I kind of like, you know, fell into a certain style that I do, I think people realize that, like I don't quite like I just naturally don't draw like women in too much of like a sexual like, you know,
Yeah.
form or like, over sexualized kind
Right.
of way. So but yeah, that was probably one of the weirdest. One of the weirdest that I took was guy had a whole book of Earthworm Jim and
Okay.
a whole
Okay.
sketchbook. Yeah. And he goes, "Well, I want you to do an Earthworm Jim." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "But I've been asking people to do Earthworm Jim dressed as their favorite comic book character."
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "What's yours?" And I was clearly like maybe the first woman that he asked to be in the book, because naturally my answer was going to be a female character.
Sure.
And so I said, "Oh, I really love Catwoman." And so he was like, "All right then." And so I drew Earthworm Jim dressed as Catwoman. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So mhm.
Sabrina says, I mean, there's an artist that does primarily characters in toilets, so okay, well there you go. He's going to
Maybe that guy
maybe he
for
became
that.
that.
Maybe he was like,
Right.
nobody else is
Maybe
doing
he's
it. I will make what I want.
Everyone's got their thing, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm also a huge female character fan. One of the first things I
Mhm.
bought from you is a Spider-Gwen bookmark, which I still use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, who is your favorite? I know you said you're quite fond of Catwoman, but not necessarily comic book, just overall in all media. Who is your favorite female protagonist ever?
Mm, ever,
Ever.
ever.
Before you
That's
say it, just think about it.
uh-huh.
I just want to shout out Harambe. Rest in peace, Harambe. Uh, we miss you,
What year
sweet
is it?
prince. Well, someone redeemed that. So if,
Oh, okay.
if they
It's
redeem
like
R.I.P. Harambe, I have to shout out Harambe.
okay. Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
I got it. Gosh. I mean, I always, fall back on Ripley.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I dig it. How about you, Ketsoren?
Mhm.
Ooh, I'm just thinking of Marvel, and my brain is, shutting down. I'm gonna go with Captain Marvel. That's still my favorite Marvel character. So, Captain Marvel.
I mean, she is quite literally one of the strongest comic book characters of all time. So, I mean,
Yeah, she's a little OP.
it is what it
That's
is.
fine.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot OP, but yeah. Yeah, I can just fly into the sun. It's fine. Who cares? I don't know. Whatever.
Sometimes it do be that way.
It do
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
that. Sometimes you just need to fly into the sun. I mean, whatever.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's all good. All right, so I always ask you. Well, I asked you before on this to see if you remember. Your response is still one of my favorites responses ever. Just the way you responded to it. What's your favorite source of potassium?
Oh my God, I remember this question. Bananas.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
confused you were is still one of my
I was
favorite.
so confused. I was like stunned. I'm like, somehow I forgot what potassium was and what.
I have asked every celebrity I've ever met that question because I do celebrity interviews too, and they're like, surprisingly they probably get asked the weirdest shit. So like surprisingly, most of
Yeah.
them are just stone cold about it, and they'll just be like, I don't even know what has potassium in it, or they'll just be like bananas, or
Yeah.
Chris Sabat was like the aqueous form, and I'm like, what?
Oh, what?
What does that mean? Speaking of celebrities, who's the coolest celebrity you've met?
Mm, the coolest. I don't know. I've met a lot of them at shows. I don't really get up from my table very often to
Sure,
be able
sure.
to meet celebrities. Um, I would say probably Doug Jones has been one of my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah, if he's at a show, I will take the time to go and stand in his line.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so this last part's all about you. So
Okay.
Sabrina says he's cool. Talking about Doug Jones. Uh,
Cool.
so tell everyone what you've got going on, what projects you're working on, what they can do to support you, all that jazz.
Okay.
This is your space.
Cool. So yeah, aside from taking pre-show commissions for Lexington Comic Con, I'll also be taking commissions at the show. So if you can't decide beforehand, or if you are looking to get something and you want to talk about it, come see me. I also, aside from that, of course, like I'm trying my hardest to find like the platform that I could be the most prevalent on because some of them are really difficult right now.
Sure.
But I'm on Instagram, of course. I post pretty regularly on there. And then I have my Patreon that I'm trying to grow a little bit more. I've been on there for quite a while. And I've kind of had times where I've been a little bit more um, active on it than others, but I'm building that back up. I do like a sticker of the like a sticker club here. The one that I've got for February. So every month it's like a different unique sticker that I design, and each person gets one in the mail along with a little hand drawn like watercolor
Oh, that's
piece.
sick.
But yeah,
Nice.
this month was a little hugs and hisses
I love
thing.
that.
Yeah. So, you know, and on top of that, I think I still have like one commissioned here left on my Patreon. So if anyone's interested, do
Ooh,
that. But I do like process videos on there and updates, and I'll post other things that I'm working on that I don't necessarily share, you know, on other platforms.
gotcha.
Yeah, so that's kind of the things I'm working on right now. You know, the whole new Kentucky Kaiju stuff. That's kind of like just keep an eye out for it. I don't really, you know, I can't really say much for it right now
Sure.
since it's still in the works. And aside from that, I don't really have any other, aside from personal projects, you know, I don't really have anything else that I'm kind of like working on at this time.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
everyone come see Tressa
Yeah.
at LexCon. Come say hi to her. Let her know that Nerd Bites sent you.
Yep. In her DMs and get a commission.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tressa, for coming on. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I love your art so much. So cool having you on the show. But yeah, everyone come say hi to her at LexCon and buy her shit. Do it. Buy her shit. And
Buy that cool art shit.
yeah. And until next time, Ketsoren,
Ooh, stay nerdy.
stay nerdy. Bye, everyone.